Law for Love, and thank you for joining me for today's Wednesday Wisdom. I once had a client who called me with a horrible situation. She had been married to the love of her life for more than 30 years. And after she had recently been diagnosed with a very challenging medical situation, he decided to run off with a woman half her age. Not only was she financially dependent on him for the past 30 years, but when he left, he took the only car they had, and she had no way to get to her doctor's appointments. She was absolutely pitiful when I first spoke to her, but I decided I wanted to help her because during our first conversation, I heard in her a willingness to be confronted and to adjust to some coaching. When we met, I let her cry her cry. Like I said, she was so miserable, so helpless, so vulnerable. And I told her that I had made the decision that I would like to represent her, but I had 3 conditions that we were going to write into our contract that she would be required to do. And if she failed to do these things, I could no longer be her attorney. The first thing I required was that she made sure she took care of all of her medical needs by any means necessary. You have to see your doctor. You have to get there. You have to stay on top of your medical needs. Number 2, you have to get therapy because you're going to need some mental health support to help you get through the battle of this divorce. And finally, the third condition for my willingness to represent her was that she had to take her life back one day at a time. I gave my client a hug and I sent her on the way. We are going to fight and we are going to get you some spousal support. About 2 hours later, I received a phone call. My client told me, you know what, Miss Alasi, when I left your office, I asked myself, why am I sitting up here keep crying? And I got mad. And I went over to his job and she used her her remote or her key to hit the unlock button, and she found her car. She found her car and she let herself into her car. And when she took a seat in the driver's seat, the mistress was sleeping in the back seat and popped up and asked her, what are you doing here? My client said, honey, you better get you and your stuff and get out of my car. She put the lady out the car and took off. There was nothing that could be done. Why? Because she was married and that was just as much as her car as it was his car. My client literally took her life back that day. And today's wisdom is this. The same power that we give to other people to make me mad or make me feel a certain way, that's one of the biggest lies that we believe. Nobody makes you feel any kind of way. You choose your response. Before that day, my client chose to be helpless. She chose to be a victim. She chose to be pitiful until she got permission to take back all the power she had put in the hands of another person. You have more power than you understand. The power to take your life back from any situation that makes you feel anything less than valuable, worthy, and loved. This is Shar with Law for Love, serving our families in wisdom, justice, and truth.